What's going on YouTube? GS right here. Today we're talking about how you can become a jailbreak developer, what it takes to become a jailbreak developer, and what do you need to learn, where do you even start. Now, as you probably know, I have built jailbreaks before, including the Blizzard jailbreak and other tools, and many of my tools are actually open source. I've even built customization tools all the way up to iOS 18.5 and iOS 26. So I feel like I can guide you a little bit through this entire mess, because becoming a jailbreak developer isn't as easy as you may think. It's fun, it's rewarding, and you get to learn a lot of stuff in the process that can be used further down the line if you want to pursue a career in security research or application security and so on. So it's not just learning useless skills for a dying niche, no. But the resources that are available, for example, all these talks over the years and presentations and blog posts explaining vulnerabilities and books and courses, all of this can help you get started. But really, where are you right now? Because depending on where you are right now, you might actually see the bigger picture in a different way. Think about it. If you're just getting started as a jailbreak developer, what would be the best resource to start? Think about it like this diagram over here. This is where you are and this is where you want to get. You want to become a jailbreak developer, maybe even release your own tools for the community. The actual path in real life looks more or less something like this. There are a lot of things that you need to learn and master before you can make your own tools. And while it might look complicated, the path to it is actually quite fun. And the more you unlock of it, the more you understand of it, the more you're going to find it fun and appealing to you, because you're progressing and you're succeeding. But first of all, of course, you would have to learn programming, in my opinion. Like, learn Objective-C and C and Swift, maybe even ARM assembly. You don't have to master them just yet. Just have the basics. Just be able to make a simple program. Just be able to recognize what common functions do. What does printf do? What is a buffer? What is the heap? How is your program being compiled on the system? And then, of course, you would have to learn security through basics, like heap overflows, use after freeze, buffer overflows, ASLR, pack and ROP and JOP, heap sprays, stuff like that. These are basics in the iOS security that you would have to know to be able to better understand bugs down the line, and of course their exploits. So there are a couple of resources that you can start out with, like this iOS resources page over here by Saigusa, which is a collection of all the talks and blog posts and exploit details over the years. You can see that you have quite a lot of them, and they go in depth about each exploit that was released, or at least many of them, various jailbreaks that were released, and various security features, various bug analysis. However, this is not a complete guide, like you start from the first one and you end at the last one and you should know everything. These just focus on various things that a security researcher found interesting at that time. They are very well explained, but they're not in a particular order. Now, of course, you can go ahead and read the write-ups and blog posts for various bugs, for example, from Project Zero. A lot of jailbreaks in the community that have been released over the years use Project Zero bugs, and they are very well explained when you are able to find a write-up for the bug. However, if you're new to this, you may find this a little bit hard to understand. You might actually get lost through the words. Another resource that you can try is, of course, Jonathan Levin's books. There are 3 volumes. It's StarOS Internals, volume 1, 2, and 3. The third one actually goes in depth into how different jailbreaks actually worked, how they managed to build the jailbreak, what vulnerabilities they use, and stuff like that. These books are actually very hard to understand. You need to have a lot of pre-existing knowledge to be able to understand the books. They are very good, but they are very technical, and you wouldn't be ready for them if you're just getting started. My personal recommendation is 8K6 Academy over here. They have this course, Offensive iOS Internals, which actually goes quite in depth into this stuff and is quite beginner friendly. Now, you probably have seen me recommending this course at the end of my other videos, and I'm going to get a little bit into it in this video, because this is a very good place to start if you want to become a security researcher and a jailbreak developer. Anyway, as you can see, their course is pretty large, and if you take a look at the syllabus over here, they help you through setting up your environment, like choosing devices versus Corellium, installing the necessary tools on your computer, list of tools that you may need, jailbreaking your device, installing various things. So essentially getting your setup ready so that you can learn and test and do all this work. And then it goes into iOS and the file system, like various mobile operating system concepts and virtual memory and an introduction to the iOS file system. Where is everything? Daemons, agents, file handlers, file system monitoring. So you get to learn what is each folder, what it does, where you can find a daemon that you may want to get, where you can find a plist that is important and you may want to modify, and so on. And then it goes into ARM assembly and exploitation. Now I can't begin to tell you how important it is to be able to understand ARM assembly, even a little bit, even beginner level stuff, like being able to recognize a couple of mnemonics, being able to tell that, oh, this is a comparison being made in assembly, this is a jump, it will go to a different function. Being able to look at code and realizing that this does that in ARM assembly is like God mode. Once you understand ARM assembly, there really isn't any iOS application that is not truly open source. And they go in depth in here in ARM assembly and exploitation, like understanding ARM common instructions and calling conventions, reverse engineering simple ARM64 binaries, and of course heap overflows, use after freeze, ROP chains. These are all exploitation concepts that you would need to understand to be able to find bugs and exploit them. Then they go through debugging tools and setup. Like if you have an application and you want to stop it at any moment and see what its memory contents look like, make it do something else other than it would do normally, and that you can do through LLDB quite a lot, which is a debugger on iOS, is the de facto debugger on iOS. And mastering that essentially allows you to take control over any application and do anything you want. And then it goes more in depth into iOS reverse engineering. So using tools like Hopper, Ghidra, Radare, and of course reversing various tools made in Objective-C or Swift. Then they explore a lot the Mako binary format. Now this is important because every single application on iOS is a Mako binary. Just like on Windows you have exe files, the Macos are the binaries of iOS. Understanding how the format works means understanding the structures inside, where are the strings, where are the segments, which parts of it are read-only, which parts of it are execute, and so on. And then maybe the most important part, they go into kernel stuff, like the iOS kernel and IPSW analysis. You get a look inside the firmware of iOS, you get to understand the new kernel, which is the iOS kernel, extracting it, identifying system calls and Mac traps, which is important because that's how the userland, the unprivileged modes like applications and so on, communicate with the kernel and get to do things. You have to ask the kernel for permission to do anything. You want to write a file? Oh, that would be a syscall. You want to read a file? That's a syscall. You want to print to the screen? That's a syscall too. There's nothing you can really do as an application without the kernel. Most everything that you would do has to request kernel permissions. Being able to hijack those would mean a lot for jailbreaking. You get to see how you can pop the kernel into a disassembler to look for offsets, to look for functions, to understand what it does, to do some diffing, to see what has changed from one iOS version to another. Then they explain code signing, which is a major hurdle for jailbreaking on iOS. As you probably know, everything on iOS is code signed, which means that AMFI, Apple Mobile File Integrity, would kill the application on the spot if it's not code signed or if it's not code signed properly. Learning how that works means learning how you can defeat it, and of course that's important for jailbreaking. Sandboxing as well. Sandboxing limits everything you can do on your device, like reading files, writing files, seeing the folders and the file system. So as you can see, their course is actually quite big. It goes into a lot of stuff. And that's not even it. They also have this over here, iOS Application Exploitation Challenges, which is a free lab containing all of these applications that they made so that you can try to hack them, try to understand how they work. And they're little challenges, like you have to make them do something else instead of what they normally do. So these are great hands-on experience because you pop them in a reverse engineering tool like IDA Pro, Ghidra, whatever, and you get to do the challenge, you get to work with it, you get to mess with it completely legally because these are meant to be hacked. They're crackneys or challenges, and you upload your solution once you do them and they give you a certificate like this one over here, which you can add to your resume and you can actually add to your portfolio and so on to prove that you have hands-on experience if you're looking for jobs in the field. But the amount of things you learn from these CDFs or capture the flags by breaking these applications and completing these challenges is immeasurable since you get hands-on experience, because it's one thing to know the theory and it's another thing to know how to actually do things. So that's it. My recommendations would be this course over here from 8ksec and their free labs over here for iOS application exploitation challenges, which you can do completely for free, and it's a great way to sharpen your skills. Then you would have the iOS resources over here by Sagusa. A lot of these presentations can be easily understood, but you do need to have some pre-existing knowledge. It's not like 8ksec's course over here that goes from beginner and fundamental things to more advanced stuff. This list over here is not in any particular order, so it would take a lot of mental power to understand what each of these do and how they play into jailbreak development. And then finally, once you master all that, you have the books by Jonathan Levin. These are the absolute best books you can get on iOS, but they are very technical and very complicated to understand without pre-existing knowledge. So there you have it. That's how you become a jailbreak developer. That's how you start. That's how you learn. Do you need the course? Do you need the books? No, definitely not. You can learn with free resources online, but it would be much harder. You wouldn't know where to start and you wouldn't know where to end. So it's much better to follow a streamlined path in the beginning and then explore more the topics that you want as they come. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for watching. I am GeoSnow. Till the next time, subscribe to stay updated and peace out.